Howdy, we're live from the man cave, and what we're going to do today is show you just some real basic waxing. This is what I do with my skis during the week when I'm out skiing and training. As I come in, I brush them out, I iron in a layer of wax, scrape them, and brush them out again, and I'm ready to go. And so I can put a layer of wax on my skis fairly quickly, very efficient, and have good fast skis for the next day. So a few things you need on this tools to do some waxing is a wax bench. You can purchase one from a local dealer, such as the one I have here. They work fire nice, they're very well made, and they last for years. If you look on the internet, there's all sorts of different designs for homemade wax benches out of wood. Those also work very effective and work really nice. But it's key to have a nice wax bench and then a place to wax. We're in the Fast Wax Man Cave. I have a whole setup here, complete with a bench behind me that I normally use. The room's vented, so I have a vent going, and I have a spot where I can come in and wax my skis. It's very effective. So beyond the wax bench, you need an iron, preferably a regular waxing iron, and a digital iron. Do not buy a cheap iron. A cheap iron doesn't hold the temperature very well, and you take the chance of burning a ski base. If you burn a ski base, the ski is ruined. And it's kind of a odd way to try and save a buck, is to buy a cheap iron and then ruin a pair of skis doing it. So don't do that. I see that a lot on the internet. People say, here's how you save money, buy a cheap iron. Do not buy a cheap iron. The other one is Fast Wax uses a set of 3 brushes. We have a super fine stainless steel brush that sweeps the wax out of the ski. It's the only brush designed like this, long bristle. We spent a couple years designing it. We have a horsehair and a nylon brush, and then a plastic scraper. So you only need a few tools to get started waxing your skis. So what I'll show you what I do when I come in. First thing I do is I put my ski up on the waxing bench, and then I take my stainless steel brush and I brush it out from tip to tail, nice and easy, overlapping strokes as I go down the ski, and that sweeps all the wax out of the ski, all the dirt that's in and out of it. Then what I do is look at the temperature forecast for the next day. The most popular wax out there is blue wax. People ski in the mid-20s most of the time. It works over a wide range, so we're looking tomorrow's going to be in the mid-20s. So we'll put a layer of blue wax in. So what I do is take my iron and hold it over there and drip the wax onto the ski. And you should get a drop about every half inch or so. Don't put too much wax on. It goes over the edges and then makes for more scraping and cleaning up of the ski. So we'll just go down the ski, back and forth. We're pretty effective here with the layer of wax. If you're inexperienced, put a little more wax on, as it acts as an insulator between the iron and the ski and protects that ski. Once we have it here, then I go over it back and forth a little bit to get started, and then I'll pull this iron straight down the ski, nice steady easy motion from tip to tail. And everything I do in waxing, I go tip to tail. Do not go back and forth with the iron. What happens then is you tend to overheat certain spots of the ski versus keeping a nice even flow. And you can see I'm drawing a little bead behind that wax iron as I go down the ski. And I'll just keep pulling it nice and steady. And I determine the speed by how well that bead draws behind the iron. So what I'll do is go down one time. If I miss a spot, I'll come back and hit it on the second pass. So I'll do a second pass slightly faster to make sure I have real good penetration of the wax. So I'll go down the ski, and you can see I missed a spot here, but we won't panic over that right now. So I go down to the tail, and you'll see that you can speed the iron up on the tip and the tail. As the mass of the ski gets smaller, it absorbs less heat. So then we'll go down here again, and we'll pull this iron. You can see I'm going a little faster on the second round. And you'll really notice here if your ski bases are flat. If you're having a lot of trouble getting good coverage on it, your bases are not flat, then it's time to take them into your local shop, get them stone ground, flattened out, and a new base put on them. And we go run right down that ski. Now what I'll do is set my wax iron up, and then I scrape my groove while it's still warm. It's much easier to do that. So I'll go down the ski, scrape that groove off, and then we'll let the ski set until it cools down to room temperature. So we've let the ski cool for about a half hour till it gets back down to room temperature, and let your skis cool slowly. I see people that take and they throw them outside the door, and what that does is shock the ski and it pushes the wax back out of it. The other thing you should do when you're waxing a ski is bring them inside, let them warm up to room temperature before you wax them, and then never put them outside where it's cold. Skis are a laminate of several different materials all glued together. And when you do that, you stress all of those glues and all of those laminates because they all expand and contract at different rates. And you can delaminate your ski by doing that over time. So it's just something not to do. I generally, when I wax my skis, I take them and I put them on the top shelf up where it's warm by the lights, where it's about 80 degrees there, and then I let them cool down very slowly. So what we're going to do now is just scrape the ski out, brush it, and it'll be ready to ski on. And the first thing we want to do is take our plastic scraper and make sure that it's sharp. And Fast Wax makes a plastic scraper sharpener. And the key to this is it's a flat file. It holds your scraper flat. Any other scraper sharpener on the market all concave your scrapers, so they look like a half moon after a while. And what happens when you scrape is you round off the edges of your ski after time, and your edges don't hold as well and your ski doesn't work as well. So we'll take and give it a few passes on the scraper, and we'll have it good and sharp. And then again, we always work this ski tip to tail. So we'll just scrape the ski from tip to tail. Nice, easy, overlapping strokes. And there's one way of doing this, one way only, and that is to set the scraper down right here, have your fingers as a guide on each side of the ski and your thumbs behind the scraper, and then preferably use a 5mm scraper so that you don't bend the scraper and you hold it flat. And we'll give this a couple nice passes here. Then we'll take our real fine stainless brush and we'll go over that ski again, a couple 3 passes down the ski, and we'll pull that wax out of the surface of the ski. Just a couple 3 passes is all you need with this scraper. This brush is very effective. Then we'll take our horsehair brush, same thing, get that wax out of the structure. And then we'll take and polish with our nylon brush. And this is the only brush that I just go back and forth on. All you're doing is polishing that ski up to get a nice shine to it. And make sure it's good and fast. Then we can check our edges one more time just to see that we didn't get a lot of wax on them. And if you don't gob a lot on the ski, you don't get that wax running off the edges. They're easy to clean up. And we'll take one more quick pass down our ski. And we'll brush it out one time real quick here. And we're ready to go. Now here's a ski you can go out and train on. You can go out and ski for recreational and have a great time on it and have a good fast ski. Keep in mind, skiing is kind of a kick and glide sport where the stride is the work and the glide is the fun part. If your skis don't glide, then there's no fun to it. So the glide is a key part to it. The other one is if you ski on fast skis, you'll learn to ski better. You'll learn to glide longer, and you'll have a lot more fun with skiing. So set something up, wax your skis often. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it, the faster your skis will become. Good waxing is like good skiing, it takes practice. Thanks everybody.